comebacks nowadays.
Well, Brew, are you feeling vindicated about your Clippers?
Oh, this guy.
He's a Harden believer now.
Wait. Hold on. Every time we talk Clippers, it's Brew's Clippers.
Yeah, it says it right there.
Brew's Clippers,
Yes,
Brew's Clippers.
They are yours.
All right, so now, but you only want to talk when they lose.
No, that's not
Now
true.
that they win, you get mad because we're calling them Brew's Clippers. Well, look, I did pick them to make the Western Conference Finals. Admittedly, I'm a fair man. I picked that thinking Kawhi was going to be
Why would
healthy,
you ever think that?
Well, I know. But now I don't think he's going to play the rest of this series. But here's the thing.
Hold on. You think Kawhi's out for the series?
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Now, I hope I'm wrong. But he's been out a long time, and he hadn't gotten any better. He didn't even warm up, like shoot before the game. All right, so he's not contact practicing or anything like that. But here's the thing. I give them a shot. I said, I think Friday, without Kawhi, I don't think they'll win this series. But I'm going to give them a shot. It's all dependent, and maybe this is stupid, on James Harden.
Yeah,
because
that's why.
If I could count on James Harden,
you can't.
Well, I
What
get
are you
it.
talking?
Game one last year, did he have 45?
No,
that was
that was later in the series. Game one of round two, he had 45 in round two. Yes, that's
in round two against was that Boston? Yeah, Boston.
Dude, Bruce messed up.
This is on Harden because if I can go into a playoff game knowing I'm getting regular season James Harden, and I don't mean 28 a night. This is what I'm asking. This is it. I'm asking James Harden, just don't get tentative.
Okay.
Don't not shoot.
I
don't want hesitant James Harden. I don't want tentative James Harden. I don't want him running from the ball. No, I want him being his typical aggressive self. I can handle a 8 for 20 night. Because at least you're being yourself, you're engaged, and you're getting other guys involved.
Okay.
But his bad playoff games are 2 for 13, tons of turnovers. That's not James Harden. That's what it is, a mental block. Because here's the thing, Nick. If Harden is Harden, they still got 2 superstars. And then they've got a deep bench.
When you say when Harden is Harden, do you mean when Harden is regular season?
Yeah.
Harden
when he's regular season Harden, you got Paul George and Harden. Okay, 2 stars, though.
Sure.
Versus what you got in Dallas.
With 2 stars.
And then we got a deep bench.
You got a deeper bench and a better coach, in my opinion. That's all great. This is the most overreaction of any game.
No, I didn't say they're about to run through it.
It is such.
They don't have a shot?
Can I tell you something?
Oh, because I'm trusting Harden. Harden!
How is it an overreaction? So on one side, it's an overreaction because you know it's the first game and the home team is supposed to win. But the Mavs were awful. They scored, what was it, 30 points or 31 points or 29 points in the whole entire first half of against a Kawhi-less Clippers. Awful.
I'm trusting you, man.
Clip this. Wilds, I got to tell you something. Yeah. Brew, you are so lucky your 2 daughters are as brilliant and kind and well-behaved as they are. Because you would have been the ultimate sucker parent. I promise, Dad, this time will be different. I promise. Don't pay attention to the last 7 times you've let me do this. This one's going to be different. And you'd be like, you know what? I believe in it. Like this idea that you are.
He's only a Hall of Famer. Some people thought he was the best player ever to have a ring at one point.
First of all,
some people on this not you, but some
bringing up a projection take from 6 years ago, 5 playoff meltdowns ago, is a little unfair, but I'll wear it. That's fine. And I underrated Elgin Baylor. Not the point. The point is this. Of course these Clippers look good because they looked like the regular season Clippers. But at some point, the playoff Clippers, and most notably playoff Harden, are going to show up. And you are also not going to have a game, I don't think, the rest of the series, where everyone on the Mavs other than Luka and Kyrie objectively played poorly. Like, there was a lot. They scored 8 points in a quarter. There was a lot that went into. I thought Russ played really well in his role. I think Paul George literally did go 8 for 20.
Second half he played better.
And so I just know, I do not believe that you're going to get consistent production from James Harden. As the games increase in stress.
That's when he has his issue.
Okay, but then why do you think you're going to get that from Kyrie? Because Kyrie is one of the softest, weakest, great players of the league. And you cannot convince me otherwise. He's played well with LeBron James. Newsflash, everyone plays well with LeBron James. He is so soft. He did not play good that game. Yes, he ended up getting his numbers near the end when they were down by 1,000,000 points. For those of you who don't play competitive sports, it's really easy to get your numbers and to play well and to shoot fearlessly and play fearlessly with no pressure when you're down by a lot or when you're up by a lot, okay? And it's not to say that Kyrie can't handle these moments, so to speak, but he's a mental case. Anytime he faces resistance or anytime he faces adversity or issues or doesn't play well, what does he do? He does this all the time. He starts talking about cobalt mining and religion and this and that because he's weak. Kyrie is weak, okay? And so to think that he's going to have success in the playoffs outside of anyone, outside of him with LeBron, just not going to happen. And I think Luka's amazing. Luka is unbelievable, one of the best players in the league, and is a bona fide superstar. But he's not LeBron James. He doesn't have the leadership. He doesn't pull the strings like LeBron James does. You saw what Luka did. He was getting angry on the court. You saw him, in the moments and key moments. And they even talked about on the broadcast of like, keep your cool. You're going to make the players around you too tense. Luka's not a good leader. It's just a reality. He's not a good leader. And again, I love Luka. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. But he's not a good leader. And Kyrie is certainly not a good leader. So I don't know why you think the Mavs are in a position where they're going to be able to overcome adversity. Now, I even said that I think that the Clippers were going to win, but I also said with Kawhi playing. So this even surprised me, but like not to that larger degree because people have the Clippers potential or the Mavs trying to go toe to toe with the Denver Nuggets, and that's just comically hilarious. They might be able to eke their way to a Western Conference Finals. I do not see it. I reject that. But even if they somehow were able to think that they even have a chance against the Nuggets is comical. They don't even have a chance against the Celtics. I don't got them beating the Sixers. I don't got the Mavs beating the Knicks. So they don't have a chance here. Luka is amazing. Kyrie is a great player. I am not taking away from that. So before you start telling me I'm just being a hater of Kyrie, just look at what he's done over the years. He is a weak-minded person. He was balling out in the Garden, when he was with the Brooklyn Nets, and then like a complete clown giving middle fingers to the fans. How weak are you? You're in the middle of a playoff game, and he was doing it because he thought he was about to win, and then they didn't, and then he and the Nets completely unraveled. He is a weak-minded individual. You cannot get through the NBA. You can't get through any professional sports being weak-minded. The only time you can is if you are surrounded by strong-minded players with strong leaders, strong coaches, strong players. The Mavs don't have that. The Mavs have a bunch of other younger players, more passive players. Luka is not a leader. When things aren't going well, Luka, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me, I'm getting so excited. Luka doesn't rally the troops. Luka doesn't call everyone in and say, listen, this is what we need to do. Backdoor cuts, post up, this, that. He just carries on to the refs. He makes faces at his players. He's a big baby. He needs to grow and mature a lot. When he's balling out, yes, he can kind of carry a team because he's unbelievable. I mean, he's so effortless. The guy looks like he's just kind of, in warm-ups, the way how he plays in the middle of a game. I mean, it's unbelievable. And he's a big-bodied dude. So he's a beast. Again, let me say this one more time. I absolutely love Luka. Love him, love him, love him. But his personality on the court, his leadership qualities are lacking. And you can't argue that. And people want to point that, yes, he was able to carry that team to the Western Conference Finals before. Was it really that impressive? I mean, yes, it was impressive, but then they had zero chance against the old Golden State Warriors. And then, they got Kyrie Irving the next season, and they played terrible. They didn't even make it to the playoffs. Forget if they ended up making the playoffs or not. I feel like they didn't. They went on a losing spree and just couldn't even get in the playoffs. Now this season, Yeah, they're a good team. They're a solid team. They're not a disaster. They're not the Atlanta Hawks or the Chicago Bulls, which, congratulations. I mean, you got Luka and Kyrie. You got to be at least somewhat good. But they are not built to face the adversity of the playoffs. Luka's built to thrive in the playoffs. It's a very different thing. Not face the adversity. To see him in round 1, game 1, make that face and get all angry. I forget who it was who didn't catch the ball underneath the basket. That is, I can't emphasize this enough, terrible leadership. Terrible leadership. You cannot do that in game 1. You are making everyone play tighter now. And when your leader, Luka, is making you feel that way, and you know, oh man, I'm not, Luka's not happy. I'm not making Luka happy. Everyone starts to contract and shut down. It's a tight place to play in. It's not what you want. And that's what Luka does. And then Kyrie is just, does he even talk? I mean, seriously, what is he, does he, when he's sitting on the bench, he's doesn't even look engaged. When he's on the court, obviously he's doing what he can, but he was not playing well. I know he ended up getting his numbers. That's why numbers are always misleading. Go watch that game. In the moments that the Mavs needed to score to get baskets to keep the game close before it was getting out of hand, Kyrie did nothing. Did nothing. Then when, the Clippers started to let go of the gas a little bit, ease up the gas, and when they were already down by 1,000,000 points and you have nothing to lose, yes, now Kyrie was making baskets. Again, congratulations. So I just think that the Mavs are in trouble from a long-term perspective. Can they still pull this series out? Definitely, especially without Kawhi. That's why you never overreact to the first game of the series, especially when the home team wins. Because the home team is supposed to win. They're supposed to protect home court. Every single home team won so far. That's just the way it goes. The only 2 teams that actually put up a fight, that actually had a legitimate true chance at winning, especially going into the final minutes of the fourth quarter, were the Sixers and the New Orleans Pelicans. So, congratulations. Both the Sixers and the Pelicans played better than the Mavs, which should be pretty embarrassing considering you have Luka and Kyrie. And they're supposed to be better teams than both those teams. Significantly better, especially against the Pelicans, who didn't even have Zion, and the Sixers with an injured Embiid. Supposed to be playing a worse team because the Knicks are the number 2 seed and OKC is the number 1 seed. Yet the Mavs struggled against the Kawhi-less Clippers. That's just sad. There's no other way to put it. It's just sad. But those are just my thoughts. I'm so sorry, Dallas Mavericks fans. Please don't hate on me. I'm just speaking the truth. But do you think the Clippers can actually pull this off? What do you think about Luka and his leadership qualities and Kyrie not really showing up even though his numbers appear to be showing up? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.